Greetings, good.
Hit like and subscribe. You're watching the Mark Lamont Hill official YouTube channel.
All right, greetings, good morning, Ekaro. How are you, family? It's so good to have you back with us, those who are watching live. I am April R. Silver, and I am the host of the new show on the Mark Lamont Hill official YouTube channel. The show is called Ascending, and we're here every Saturday. I'm acting like it's been a whole long time, right? This is just our third episode. So every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern, I am here live on this channel, trying to bring good, solid, inspirational, and instructional conversations to you. So as folks are piling in, definitely, stay in the chat, like and subscribe, share and follow, tell your people. We're going to get started in like a nanosecond. So you have time to tell folks to come in on this first day of February 2000, what are we? 2025. So happy Black History Month, which we know is every minute of the day. But shout out to those who recognize the importance of Black History Month. So we definitely want to also thank Mark Lamont Hill himself for this opportunity. Shout out to executive producer Princess Faith Harrell. And also, we want to say welcome back to the content moderators, the people who've been with us so far. And just know this. Now, you know it's a given. You got to like, you got to subscribe, you got to share, you got to tell your people, you got to comment, yes. But also, for those who are new, be mindful of the chat. This is a respectful space. This is a space where we can agree or we can disagree, but it's all peaceful. It's positive vibes only here on the Mark Lamont Hill official YouTube channel, and particularly this show, which is Ascending. And again, I'm your host, April R. Silver. So what we have, or who we have for us today, and the topic that we're going to discuss is really important. It's apropos for the first day of Black History Month. We are going to be discussing the 40th anniversary of the Black Rock Coalition. If you know me at all, you know that I'm all about arts and activism, and I can't think of a better, there are very few organizations that really epitomize the intersection between art and activism. And so this is art and activism at its best. So if you didn't know, this organization was founded in 1985, and we have the honor of bringing to the stage the director of operations. I'd like you to clap it up or praise hands or do all of the good things as we welcome to the stage my brother and my friend, Darrell McNeill.
How you doing, April? Good to
I,
see you.
I am better now. I am better now. It's so good to see you. Thank you for accepting the invitation.
Of course.
I'm always, full disclosure, let me just share this with the audience. We've known each other for quite some time, and we've worked together for quite some time across the, East Coast and West Coast. I know right now you're in California. You've been there for a minute, but when I first met you, you were in Brooklyn, and we've always clicked very well. I think you're an amazing, intelligent human being, and I always learn from you when you talk about Black music and Black culture, which is specifically why I wanted you to come and talk about the Black Rock Coalition, the 40th anniversary, and a lot of things in between. So again, thank you. And shout out to your wife, Sally, and shout out to, just the whole Black Rock Coalition family. Let me shout out Earl Douglas Jr., the executive director, yes, and LaRonda Davis, who's the president. Again, you're the director of operations. So before we get into all unpeeling the layers, just shout out to the institution. We so appreciate you.
Well, thank you, and thank you for overselling me. I hope I can live up to the hype.
No. Some of the audience members will know you, not just in this capacity at Black Rock Coalition, but as a musician, as a writer, as a journalist, as a producer. You've done all the things. So there's so many things to talk about, but let's start about what is Black Rock Coalition? What does the organization do? And how did you get involved in the organization for all of these years?
Well, The top line is really the Black Rock Coalition is a progressive 501c3 nonprofit advocacy organization dedicated to promoting full creative freedom, representation, and compensation. Emphasis on compensation for artists of color. And we're celebrating our 40th anniversary in 2025. We were founded in 1985, and we've spent 40 years championing outstanding musicians and artists of all disciplines in the face of reductive, stereotypical, and discriminatory attitudes and practices of the entertainment industry, the arts industry, and the mainstream media. Um, and it's hard to believe it's been like literally two generations of this organization. A lot of situations started around the same time that we started, and certain things have like fallen by the wayside, but we're still here, and it's a testament to the strength and validity of our mission that we're still around and we're still here, and people are still finding ways to engage and use this organization as a platform for their creative pursuits.
The It's a strong organization still for sure. And I the one of the latest things that I was involved in was an event that you produced just a couple of months ago in New York at Webster Hall. You made it very clear it wasn't a tribute concert to Sly and the Family Stone, but maybe a focus concert. So the audience should know. For those who missed it, sucks to be you, right? If you missed it, if you were in New York and you missed that amazing concert with the Black Rock Coalition Orchestra, I guess you'll catch it next time. But the one of the examples, right, of what you're talking about in arts and activism is that the Black Rock Coalition, well, it was headed by your organization, Poet Warriors, right? Poet Warrior Productions, in collaboration with Black Rock Coalition. But then you all had the NAACP there, right? And then you had people. Not we didn't just have music and a tribute to this amazing, legendary, iconic musician and band, but you had people come to the stage to talk about the importance of being active in our community. Can you give us a little bit of history about how that's not uncommon, this mergence of activism with the Black Rock Coalition?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for shouting out that particular presentation. I want to make it clear that it was not a Black Rock Coalition production. It was
Yes.
specifically under the umbrella of my personal company, Poet Warrior Productions. That said, center in that was the Black Rock Coalition Orchestra, which is the repertory company of the Black Rock Coalition. It's been around pretty much since the organization's founding. And a short explanation of that is like the BRC Orchestra is our world class repertory all star um, collective of musicians, artists, performers.
Can
Some
you shout out some of those folks who you're talking about?
Well, we've had like different members of Living Color, Vernon Reid, Corey Glover, sometimes Doug Wimbish, bassist, sometimes Will Calhoun, drummer. We've had members of Fishbone, Angelo Moore, participate in things that we've done. We've had Michelle and cello participate in things that we've done. Um, Sekou Sundiata, who's like we consider poet laureate to the Black Rock Coalition, rest in power. And there's a huge roster of figures who have come in and out of the Black Rock Coalition Orchestra and out in and out of the Black Rock Coalition universe. And it's constantly changing, it's constantly evolving. Oh, big shout out to Nona Hendrix, Black Rock Coalition auntie, um, and like the epitome of the spirit in which the Black Rock Coalition was founded. So there've been a number of different major figures who've come through the organization and have helped elevate the organization and the mission.
One of the things that I noticed, just doing publicity for my team and I for that particular presentation, again headed by Poet Warrior Productions, and it was a stellar production. I loved seeing the way that you all, this is me behind the scenes, right? But I love seeing how you all are just family. You know what I mean? The way that you all have come together or came together, just the love and the connection. It was just sweet. It was delicious. It was good to experience, and it felt and looked authentic. And that kind of, love, for the music, for the expertise. Like, it was just really a wonderful experience, and I think that speaks to the integrity of the organization. Would you agree?
Very much so. I mean, when the organization was first founded in 1985, it was all new. It was all different. There, there really hadn't been anything. There've been a few groups, organizations like Black Music Group, Art Ensemble of Chicago, organizations like uh, the East, and a number of different cultural organizations that pre-existed to the Black Rock Coalition. We were like one of the first groups that really kind of analyzed where the music industry was at that particular juncture in 1985.
Mhm.
There was really this huge narrow cast of expression, um, a huge reductive um, bandwidth for Black expression in the music industry at that particular time. Um, I don't want to be the old man like talking about the kids on his yard and all that stuff, but we grew up at a time in like the 1960s, 1970s where there was full range of expression, serious expression of Black music, which sort of got, well, not even sort of, basically was muted as we transitioned from the 1970s to the 1980s as far as commercial Black pop. Then hip hop comes along, and that sort of infused a new, different kind of energy into Black music at the time, because this was music from the people, music from the streets,
Mhm.
where people were freely expressing um, their 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 joys, their pains, and their here and now present condition. I'm not going to say that we were part of that, but that was a huge part of the energy that was infused into the early days of the Black Rock Coalition at the time. We were primarily focused on trying to make waves in the music industry. But as with all things, we start with a kernel of an issue, and then the issue blossoms into larger and more complicated challenges, which means that we have to change and grow and adapt in kind. We started out again trying to interface with the music industry. We did so we were relatively successful at that for like a number of years. Then around the mid 90s, when the music industry started consolidating and started focusing on high performers, high Black performers, and sort of like quote unquote shedding the dead weight, a lot of that dead weight unfortunately ended up being a lot of Black rock acts. And we were kind of iced out by the industry. So we made a decision like around the mid 90s, heading into the early 2000s, that we were going to function largely as an independent do it yourself organization and we became even more activists, as it were, the not just for the music and the culture, but also addressing certain aspects of the political condition that Black folks were dealing with during those times. I mean, we that had always been a component in the Black Rock Coalition's evolution, but since we became independent and focusing on DIY business models, we were finding ways to expand our freedom of expression creatively and politically, and looking for different ways to address all of those things as one, like as one whole thing. It wasn't our history, black people's history. The art has always been integrated with the daily life. um, the music industry, being what it is, tries to separate those things, but a large part of the great music that we had and the success of our political actions at the time had to do with a merger of those two entities.
You are definitely saying a lot, and it's insightful. It's making me want to ask you, Darrell, from 1985 to 2025, again the 40 years. What are some of your best, not you, but the organization's best victories in this battle? As we've talked about before, the culture versus commerce, uplifting the independent Black artists. Like, what are some of the best victories that you would want to share?
Well, it's hard to classify these things as victories.
Mhm.
I mean, every time a production happens and it's relatively successful, um, it's a win of sorts. Um, you know, the BRC kind of started when we began. It was like sexy in the mainstream for a few years, and then the mainstream turns its attention to other things, and we still come up in the mix every once in a while. Sometimes under the best of circumstances, sometimes under the worst of circumstances. Um, but I guess the biggest victory is that people still seek us out. People still ask us our opinion on things. Our opinions matter. The people who work with us matter. Um, the events, the activities that we have, these things still are relevant to people. And to me, that's the biggest victory. I could name a bunch of individual things. Um, we've had a number of huge major shows. We've put out a lot of incredible product. We have championed a lot of amazing artists who've gone on to great success. But the real victor, I mean, these are just piecemeal things that, taken as a whole, um, they're just like little markers in time. The holistic victory is the fact that people still think that the Black Rock Coalition has meaning to the
Yeah.
mission, has meaning to the art, and has meaning to the community. There's still a very tight community, and it's expanding. We're finding out that there's like next generation Black rockers who are still looking to us. We've had a lot of young folks. I made Rock Festival. I mean, they reached out to us, and they said that they were modeling a lot of the things that they were doing after the things that we did. Um,
Yes.
so that is the real victory, the fact that we carry over generationally.
Also, can I just add, because I agree with you 1,000,000%. I want to direct people to the website, which I understand is, in the process of being updated, but still there is a gem on blackrockcoalition.org. And I think this, what was this, 2022, 2023, when, what is his name? The guy from Rolling Stone, um, made the comments that he did about black music
Oh,
or
Jan Werner. Jan
John.
Werner.
Okay, yeah, pardon me, I pronounced it wrong.
Yeah,
Um,
he's the founder of Rolling Stone.
yeah,
Uh,
but that piece, that think piece on your website, on the BRC website, is masterful. It is a short version of a master class about the history of Black music, its relationship to the industry. And when we say industry, we're talking about the corporate entertainment, corporate music industry, and its blatant disregard for Black musicians, Black artists. I would encourage people to go there because it's masterful. It was a very articulate, intelligent, well thought out, very just excellent piece of writing. So I say that to say that the victory comes also in the way that you all educate and inform and articulate, because for those who are just casual or curious about Black music, Black rock, Black whatever, they can get a deep dive. Would you agree? And that piece, would you agree?
um, yes, and thank you. We appreciate you shouting that up. Um, it we had a short period of time to really kind of put that situation together, and things were happening in real time. The announcement was made. The article came out, the interview with Jan Werner. Um, of course, the firestorm brewed up afterwards, and these are the things that have always been, I hate to use the term, trigger points for certain things that we do and say in the world. Um, when Vernon Reid and Greg Tate and Konda Mason first formed the Black Rock Coalition, that was a result of a trigger point because there was so much resistance to these incredible Black artists who were outside the quote unquote um, traditional concepts of the music industry, the type of work that they do. They were being frozen out. They were being shut out. They were shut out by the record companies. They were shut out by radio stations. They were shut out by venues and promoters and the whole nine of the industry. And it was a call to arms. And this is a tradition. This has been a long-standing tradition of this organization from day one.
Right.
So there was no way that Jan Warner could make those remarks and we stand by and just let them go unchallenged. Um, and a lot of folks stepped up and they had things to say. And I guess that's kind of the beauty of the here and now moment. I mean, one thing one thing about social media now, it's created an opportunity for a number of different platforms. And there's a lot of talk about the way that these platforms have been abused by people of frankly ill will and ill heart, um, to do to cast harm against those folks that they don't like. But when it's worked and channeled properly and married with platforms that are fact driven, that are fact checked, that that are really institutional, when you have a marriage of those things and you can compile a certain amount of truth and knowledge and research, because the Black Rock Coalition isn't just musicians, it's journalists, it's theater people, it's writers, um, from all different walks of life. We've had like financial people in the Black Rock Coalition. We've had people from all walks, all disciplines, and when all of these all of these elements come together to speak to something meaningful, you get situations where we can address like some of the like toxic energy that comes out of institutions um like a Rolling Stone, or you know insert insert um mainstream music publication here, or insert radio station here, insert record label here, insert frankly um political organization here, insert media organization here.
Pardon me. Yeah, I mean, this is why it's so appreciated. And to your point, 4 decades is powerful, and that's institution building, at its core. So we thank you for when I say you, it's the capital U, right? For all of the work. I know we're coming to a close soon, but I want to remind people, if you're in the chat, and I can't see the chat right now, but if you're in the chat, tell us where you're from, and be sure in the final minutes, get your people to come in and join this conversation. So Darrell, I want to ask you, I think we just have like maybe 5 minutes or so left. It's a two-part question, if I may. What's next for the organization, and give us a little bit, if you wouldn't mind, um, where you have been triumphant in this commerce versus culture, uh, never-ending struggle, for that independent artist, trying to make ends meet. Like we are. This is a trying time, to say the least, right? To put it mildly, and we're going into well, we are still in an environment where the arts are not respected, diversity is not respected, and now we have an administration that is going batshit crazy, against what we have created and what we have contributed as Black folks or people of African ancestry. So it's a two-part question. What's next from the Black Rock Coalition, and give us some insight on how you have triumphed over that classic struggle, that tension between commerce versus culture, or vice versa.
Well, as a 501c3, we can't like specifically speak to like specific um political persons or political entities. I will say that the key thing to remember about the Black Rock Coalition is when we were founded, we were very much in this same environment. Um, you think about the political climate and the political atmosphere of 1985. Um, it was very much similar to this. And the only difference right now is the amount of rancor, the amount of candor, the amount of um, unrepentant and unapologetic negativity that exists now. It's not even hiding anymore. At least there was a gentility that existed in 1985 that doesn't exist now. Um, which is all to say that this organization was built for this. We came into being in a similar environment. And as far as what the BRC is going to do, we are going to hold on to our principles. We're going to hold on to our mission statement. And we're going to continue doing the work, because the work still needs to be done now more than ever. And as far as the commerce angle, I think that we have to go back to our roots as a people, where we make ways where no ways exist. where we rely on ourselves to build within ourselves, to give ourselves the things that we need. Um, it's not to say that we can't find fellowship outside of our community. There are a number of well intentioned, well meaning, um, intersectional partnerships that exist. But at the end of the day, we have to look within and see how we can build within and strengthen within. So, whatever like negative ephemera happens outside the community is exactly that, ephemera, and has no real bearing on our core principles and our core business models. Um, we we just need to look to each other and, well, lean on each other and build within our community. And anybody who wants to be part of that and be a genuine, engaging partner, we we're here with open arms. And anybody who wants to be like contradictory and negative and false, you know, y'all can kick rocks.
You know what? It's your sure-footedness that we respect, amongst many other things, of the organization of you, director of operations at Black Rock Coalition, and just the amazing human being that you are. That stance, that sure-footedness, that strength, and your stick to itness. 40 years is nothing to sneeze at. So we appreciate you. We're gonna have to find space for you and maybe some of the other members of the organization to come back, maybe mid year or so. But Darrell, it's been an honor and a pleasure. I thank you so much because you're in Cali right now, so it's mad early in Cali. But we thank you so much for joining. So, yeah.
Well, thank you. And if I may say, for anybody who wants to find out about what we're doing for our 40th anniversary, by all means, go to our website. And the website's in transition, but still www.blackrockcoalition.org. ORG. You can follow us on Facebook. You can follow us on Instagram. We will be expanding into other social media territories in the coming year. We have a big year plan, which still like dotting I's and crossing T's, but we have a lot of major things, major engagements planned for the community at large and for our Black Rock Coalition family in particular. We hope that you all can be part of that as we move further into 2025.
Well, I think that's a given. We thank you so much. I know you got big events going on right now there in Cali, so we'll let you go. But again, Darrell, we'll stay in touch. We've never been disconnected anyway. So thank you so much, and shout out to everybody at Black Rock Coalition. So family, again, I'm your host, April R. Silver, host of Ascending on the official Mark Lamont Hill official YouTube channel. So remember, we can't do well if you don't help us by liking, by subscribing, by sharing, by telling your people, not just about this show, of course. Mark has a whole array of things going on. So we're very appreciative here on the Mark Lamont Hill official YouTube channel. So like, subscribe, share, and join if you are able to do so. You can find me on everything social media, April R. Silver, for sure. So we love your comments. You can comment after the show as well, right? You can go to the watch page and you can comment. You can tell your friends to go back and watch. So definitely that'll be your charge until next Saturday. We have a very special guest. Follow me and I'll announce who it is. But we got weeks lined up. So we want you to come back for sure. Tell us how you think you're doing and tell Mark the same. So shout out to Mark Lamont Hill, to Princess, to my producing team led by Drake R. Holiday. On that note, family, we're going to say stay up. Thank you. See you next time.